Hello everybody, welcome to the Decks of the Weekend. I returned from Four Seasons, which is honestly just my favorite event of the year. It happens every 3 months. It has my favorite formats, Modern Legacy. I played a team event on Friday, we top 8'd, Modern Legacy Vintage actually, it was full proxy. And then I played the Modern Main event, which I was kind of burnt out. It's just a long, I don't know, I dropped pretty quickly, had some time to relax, build my legacy deck for the next day. I did well in the legacy side event on Saturday, and then I finished 11th in the Sunday legacy event. These events were huge. The team event had 60 teams. The Saturday modern event had 490 people, and on Sunday we were 378. So just can't praise the event enough. But let's get into the decks of the weekend. So this was the top 8 of Modern. Again, 10 rounds of Swiss. Very, very impressive results for these friends. For these guys, this is actually a friend of mine, Aureliano. He's staying with me the night of Friday. He top 8'd with Murktide. And the top 8 has 2 Murktide, 1 Burn deck. It has 2 creativity, 1 amulet, and 2 elementals. But one of the elementals deck, it is of course my deck of the week, and it comes from Rodrigo Togores, and he is playing, drumroll, 71 cards. Okay, so you know how my videos I played with any number of elementals decks at this point, and I've played with 60, 80, 70, and Rodrigo went up to 71. Although I think that his biggest change and something that it's that he added Fable of the Mirror Breaker over Reason Reef. So normal list play 4 Reason Reef, but in this list Rodrigo only has 1 with Illidan Recall to tutor it in case you don't have a 3-drop Illidan Recall, you want to go call into Reason Reef, which is a reasonable play. But overall, Fable is a better card. I remember when I was playing the Keruga version, it had Fable, and it was a good card. And it's nice to see that it's also in here in this Elementals deck. I mean, I call it Elemental, but you know, it's an Omnat deck. Actually, on Friday, I went 5-1 with Murktide, losing 2 Elementals. I still think the matchup is not that bad, but it's definitely a deck that has a good time against a Murktide, one that you would be happy to play. I mean, if your tournament was only Murktide, it's better than getting into a field of like combo decks, which this deck definitely struggles against. A couple of toolbox creature in the sideboard. Since you don't have Kaihara, you can play things like Giant Killer, Deputy, Magus of the Moon, or Var. No Emrakul here, although I've seen some mills around. The mana base has 27 lands with 4 Boseiju in the 75. But overall, this deck is... Oh, I haven't mentioned Ilishnorn, Mother of the Machine, 2 copies. Notably, Ilishnorn does not increase the lore counter on Fable. So it's not that this comes into play and you trigger 2 counters. I wonder if you actually make 2 tokens. Probably not, though. I heard that Ilishnorn does not interact with sagas at all, so I'm gonna assume that you don't make 2 tokens when Fable comes into play. But if I'm wrong, you're welcome to pointing it out in the notes. By the way, Abundant Grow over Oath of Nissa. I am a big fan of Oath of Nissa, but Rodrigo chose to go for Abundant Grow. Again, totally fine. There's no Yorion to blink it, but Wound and Grow fixes your mana post Blood Moon, which is definitely an important thing. Only 3 basics, and yeah, this is the deck. Definitely it's something you can try if you love to play with elementals. Atraxa is a trap. Don't put Atraxa in your own that deck. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a meme when it came out, and people got carried away. Just yeah, I mean, you can play this version. There's also another one. I'm gonna add this link to the show, to the deck list in the description of this video. But there's also another Elementals deck by Ciro Passalacqua, and I think he was playing 60 cards. I haven't checked, but it looks like 60 to me. Alright, so as I said, I finished, I went 5-1 on the Saturday side event with Legacy Grex's Delver, and I was in doubt on what to play on Sunday. That's kind of also why I dropped from the Modern, because I was 1-1. I won my first round with Murktide, lost the second round to Sword of the Meek to Foundry Urza, and I was like, you know what? I just want to play some Legacy today, and I dropped. Also because I didn't know what to play on Sunday. I've tried a lot of decks. If you check my past videos, I've tested honestly just all of them. I tested Initiative, 8 cast, I tested Cephalids. At the end, I decided to I brought this deck as well, and I said to try it out in the side event, and it was just fantastic. It was amazing. I don't know why I never really find myself casting Iteration plus Sanctuary, but it's something nasty. Like, I've often said it in the podcast that we make, the competitive Magic with the Carnies. I think Mystic Sanctuary is actually the most offensive card in Legacy, and, you know, it's just not a card that, I mean, it's just classic Throne of a Drain. They just didn't think about anything when they made the set, and yeah, this card just, it's out of the world. And yeah, I mean, also like last match I played against 8cast, 7-2, sorry, at 6-2, and I went turn 2 Meltdown, opponent forced, and on turn 4 I just Mystic Sanctuary the Meltdown back on top and cast it again. It's just so sick. It's so sick, this card. Honestly, same reason why I play Pyrokinesis over Fury. I mean, Fury is technically better because in the matchup where they have Blood Moon or just the white decks, the game goes low and you Arcas Fury. But the fact that you can put them back on top, Mystic Sanctuary, Pyrokinesis, is why I like the split. The biggest change, of course, is Nuff Out. I was a little bit skeptical of the Black Splash since you only have 2 Underground Sea. Although, the fact that this card is a free mana card with Iteration lets you do something like turn 3 Iteration, pay for days or whatever, like you put in as days. You don't go under days and you just play a free Snuff Out holding a card again, so it's card advantage. Just 4 life obviously matters, but you know, we don't have shock lands and we don't really take any damage outside of this, so I think it's great. I only played against 1 Blue-Red Delver, I guess 2 with the side event. They were good. I didn't play against a single Initiative. Honestly, Initiative is just the most blown up deck, as in like everybody talks about it, nobody actually plays it, or maybe some people play it but they didn't do well. I was 0 in the top 8s, honestly just very few in the high tables as well, so even if it was a play deck it wasn't popular. So I think it's just a narrative that people make up that, you know, Initiative ruined the format, they just don't want to play Legacy, or they just don't play the format and they just randomly hate. Actually, it was a super diverse field for me. I played against 1 Delver, 0 Initiative, and just a bunch of different decks. Against 2 Painter, 2 Cephalids. The top 8 has 2 Delver, 2 Blue-Black Shadow, I believe without Delver. I haven't checked the list yet. I don't think they're out yet, but they will for sure in the Four Seasons Twitter account. Then there was, as far as I know, 1 Lands, 1 Mono-Red Painter that beat me, 1 Doomsday that beat me. I lost to Doomsday Mono-Red Painter, which should be good matchups, but you know how Magic works sometimes. And then a different archetype as well, which I can't remember right now, but it was definitely something different. Anyway, so good events, great events, a ton of fun with this deck, very, very good. Yeah, Days and Force. 4-color control by Angelica Day. For sure, because he was one of the people that told me to play Minor Misstep, which I did not like. Minor Misstep in Legacy, I'm not a fan. Maybe in his control deck is good, because you stay mana up all the time. With this deck, that you tap out all the time, I did not like Minor Misstep. Actually, pretty big fan of the 2 Mishra's Bubble. Notably, this list has 0 basics. I like that. Yeah. So that's it for Legacy, a format that I am now discovering playing a Blue Fair card as a fun thing to do. Who would have known? Who would have imagined? The final deck of the weekend is Standard, because a very good friend of mine, Zen Takahashi, won the Australian regional championship that happened this last weekend. Zen Takahashi is a very good friend of mine. We had a holiday together in New York a few months ago, remembering the good days of, you know, being on the Pro Tour together. And he's back. Hopefully, I can be back on the Pro Tour as well. On Sunday, on Saturday and Sunday, there's the RC in Italy. It's in Naples, top 36 of it's basically a European tournament. If you don't follow the scene, let's call it a European tournament. There's one in every part of the world. In Australia was the top 8 qualified to the Pro Tour. In Europe, it's top 36. Of course, there's more players. And yeah, this is the deck he top 8'd with. I mean, it's right above my alley. It's Grixis control deck, very similar to the Pioneer Rakdos mid-range. I now start testing Standard a lot in paper, because just next to my room here, there's my good friend Christian Calcano, who came all the way from New York to play the LCQ, which is like the last chance qualifier for the RC, and we're gonna play for sure. We're gonna start for sure with Zen deck, as he's the winner of the event. another very good friend of mine, co-host of the podcast, Anthony Lee, top 8'd, so he also gets the invitation on again. He's an amazing player. If you heard my podcast, you know all his good success lately, and yeah, congrats to him, but also congrats to Zen, who qualifies to the PT and for Worlds, playing Grixis mid-range. That's it for me. Hope you had a good 10 minutes hearing me talking about Magic, as happens every time on Monday and happens every time every day you can find a Mengu video. So yeah, thank you for watching and have an amazing week.